Hello everyone. At present, the world stock market is going crazy because of Trump and his team reciprocal tariff action, etc. We know on Thursday night, US increased the tariff on Chinese goods to 145%. Then yesterday, as a further retaliation, China increased the tariff on US goods from 85% to 125%. Anything above 100% tariff, it doesn't matter since no import-export company will try to import goods after 100% tariff. Now it appears this tariff escalation peaked between the two largest economies in the world. So until this issue resolved between US and China, I don't think there will be any transaction between those countries. It's just two leaders' ego, and only time has to say who blinks first. Trump openly invited Xi Jinping to call him to reduce the tariff, but Xi Jinping doing the exact opposite thing. He didn't call Trump, but rather he spoke with Spain and European Commission President and even planning to travel to some countries, maybe to Vietnam, Malaysia and Japan. But Chinese President is not phoning Donald Trump. Here, what you guys think? Who will blink first? Please let me know in the comment section. This is what I am thinking. Trump got the midterm election next year and also US is a democracy. So people always question most political things in America. Now in US, the free speech freedom, what they claim they have is dented, I presume, compared to Europe. But still, it is far better than China. Here, by chance and most probably it will, if the existing tariff continues means then the US inflation will increase substantially and US economy also will slow down substantially. It's a stagflation and economic depression zone and eventually both countries will learn to live with it. But in the meantime, it will be a nightmare for both the presidents. And here I think US president will have the serious nightmare than the Chinese president, since in China he can unite the Chinese people stating this is caused by US, and also in China nobody can question Xi Jinping. Already in Chinese social media, they're portraying that all the countries in the world are like begging with US and only China is standing up against them like that. So I personally think Trump will blink first, but in those cases also, Trump will pretend China blinked first. Anyway, in the meantime, it's a boon for all the countries across the globe since all other countries, they can increase their respective trade with both China and US. For example, as I explained in the last video, to some extent, India will replace China trade with US in electronics like iPhone and most of the textile goods. Then for all other high-tech goods, Europe, Japan and South Korea will try to replace China. On the other hand, all these countries might get cheaper goods from both China and US. In a way, this is very much positive for all other countries, including India. Now, coming to the stock market perspective, I don't think anybody will tell exactly this is what's going to happen. Hence, let's take a step back and do what always we do, fundamental analysis for Nifty. Both Nifty and Bank Nifty reached its peak on September end 2024 before the SEBI's intervention on the option market. Nifty peaked around 6,200, Bank Nifty peaked 54,000. In comparison, S&P 500 and NASDAQ reached its peak all-time high value in February 2025, approximately 1 month after the Trump sworn in as president. So now from that peak till yesterday, S&P 500 fell around 15% and NASDAQ fell 19%, whereas in our world, Nifty was down 13% and Bank Nifty was only away 6%. Which means at present both Nifty and Bank Nifty outperforming S&P 500 and NASDAQ. Again, that is in line with the scenarios and consequences which we discussed earlier. And Bank Nifty is outperforming Nifty mainly because of all this RBI rate cut and largely Indian bank will be safe if recession hits US means. Anyway, in this video, let's just concentrate on Nifty. At the end of December, after all the Nifty 50 companies released their September quarterly results, the Nifty earnings was 1086 rupees. In PE ratio term, it was 21.8 to 2022. That after the December quarterly results released on the mid of March, earnings increased decent 3.5% to 1,125 rupees. But at that time, because of the US market negativity and uncertainty around the reciprocal tariff related to India, the P ratio dropped to the 20 range. Then you might ask, why then the earnings per share suddenly dropped to 1,100 in April starting before any company's March quarterly results? The answer to that is, the regular viewers might already know, at the end of March month, Nifty was rebalanced. So in the Nifty 50 stocks, Bharat Petroleum and Britannia Industries was replaced by Zomato and Jio Financial. Here, both Zomato and Jio Financial are high PE stocks compared to Bharat Petroleum and Britannia. Hence only the earnings per share of Nifty dropped from 1,125 rupees to 1,100 rupees. Just for info, the present PE ratio of Nifty is 20.8. Then coming to our regular valuation chart, as we know in the last 3 years, the worst case PE ratio was 19 in June 2022, which was caused by high US inflation. Then in best case, one July 2023 and second in September 2024. In both the cases, Nifty increased to 24.2. On the safer side, let's assume 24. As we discussed multiple times in multiple videos, the nominal PE ratio for Nifty is 21.6, and if we consider the SIP contribution, we can normalize it to 22.1. Here is the secret. In the last 5 years, whenever the market is positive and predominantly okay bullish market time, the Nifty traded in the upper band. Then on the bearish market time, usually it traded in the lower band. As we know, now the market is very bearish, so it's trading in the lower band. Now, if we plot all those in the Nifty value like low PE, high PE, average and nominal, then this will come like this. If required, please pause and have a look. Hence, for the broad present day, Nifty's range is calculated and it could be between 26,400 and 20,900. I mean, it's not a hard range. There are instances it will be outliers like the pandemic period, but I believe for 98 to 99% of the time, Nifty might trade in this broader range. And the fair valuation for the present Nifty range is between 23,760 to 24,300. So for the present bearish market, the range narrowed to 24,300 to 20,900. Again, it's just a roughly 2 standard deviation range. So it's also not absolute concrete case. Nifty might trade out of this range as well, but it's just a guidance. On 11th April, it closed at 22,828, which means at present Nifty is slightly in the undervalued territory. Hence, the immediate resistance for the present earnings is nominal average PE value 23,750. So no wonder last March month Nifty took the resistance around this same place, 23,800 range. One more thing, always 20 P ratio is very much psychological. For the present earnings, it comes around 22,000. Hence, the immediate support will be 22,000. Then the strong support will be 20,900, which equates to 19 P ratio. So as long as earnings is around 1,100, then this is my Nifty's range guidance. And for future, let's do our regular assumptions. Generally, Nifty index in a normal day, their annual earnings will increase somewhere between 10 to 15%. Now, so far, it's not a good year. So, let's assume that decent worst case 8%, which means 2% sequential earnings increase for March month quarter. So, in that case, after all the company March month quarterly results release at the end of June-July 2025, Nifty's earnings might increase to 1,122 rupees. Hence, at that point, we can expect the fair valuation of Nifty to increase 24,200 to 24,800 from the present range 23,750 to 24,300. Again, just repeating, all the ranges might vary based on the earnings. This 2% earnings increase is what we expect to happen. But in reality, anything can happen. It can be 5% increase or 2% decrease. In those cases, all those points will change. I know it's a lot of numbers, but it's very important to understand. I mean, if the global momentum deteriorated in future, like recession or new conflict in other parts of the world, not in India, then Nifty expects to move sideways. But as long as earnings didn't drop and increase 2% every quarter, in July 2025, Nifty unlikely to drop below 21,300. Hence, here the takeaway is those who are trading in long-term Nifty index option always have the earnings consideration to adjust or add the position. Then regarding Bank Nifty valuation, I will make similar video in future because it also involves lot of calculations. Don't want to stuff everything in one video. So that's all in this video. Hope you all got some useful information. Please consider subscribing the channel and liking the video so that it will help me beat the YouTube algorithm and also motivate me to do more. Please don't make any investigation based on this, as I'm not a SEBI registered advisor. I'm doing this for me and viewers educational purpose only. Thanks for watching.